Okay, so let's take some time to get to know Google Meet. So I'll give you an orientation of all the features that you see in Google Meet and how you can use these features to better your experience. So here's kind of a snapshot of what we'll be taking a look at. When you log into Google Meet for the first time, make sure that you allow access to your mic and your webcam. Make sure you give your students those directions too, because if you do not allow access to your mic and your webcam, well, then those two pieces that make Meet so remarkable will be lacking. You won't be able to use those. We have captions as an option. We can change the layout of our Meet webcams, change video definition, share a video more effectively, utilize nickname meetings, and use your phone for audio only. And we talked about that in an earlier screencast of using the dial-in feature, the phone number feature for students who might not have internet access, and they can dial in to then experience the audio for a meeting. So here is the Google Meet. As you enter in, again, it's the idea, do you want to disable or mute your microphone for the time being? And then do you want to turn off your camera? These are two of your options. You can go ahead and click Join Now. And when you click Join Now, you'll now have the interface of Google Meet. This little card that pops up has all of the information for my Google Meet. So take a look. This is actually a Google Meet that did not have a nickname, so look at the nickname. It is that series of letters and numbers that distinguish this as a unique Google Meet. We also have the shareable URL here. You can have, this is the dial-in number. You can copy your information. You could also add people to your Meet once you have it up and running. So that's your info card that you are prompted with right when you're in. Okay, so now once you're in here, and I'm the only one who's in this Google Meet right now, but what you can do is you can actually pin the speaker. So if you hover on someone's webcam, you get the option that you can pin that person to the top. So that might be something if you have a whole class who is present, you might say to your students, look for my webcam and click on the pin to pin my webcam to the top so that they are able to watch you as the speaker, the instructor, who is perhaps showing giving a presentation of information. And then you also, as the teacher, have the option to hover on the person's webcam and then click on the microphone. You have the ability to mute your students. So let's say a student logs in, they've got all this background noise, and there's a lot of feedback. You can mute their microphone. Keep in mind, students have the ability to unmute their microphone. So that's something to keep in mind too. All right, let's take a look at the lay of the land here. The bottom left-hand corner, we've talked about this before. This has all of the information about our Google Meet, as well as a way for you to access the attachments. For you, you have your microphone you can mute. You can click on this red phone in order to leave the call, or you can shut off or turn off your camera. You also have the option to turn on captions. And if you turn your captions on, you will see that you will have text on your screen, so we can help to support our students with just another great feature so they can actually follow along with the Meet. Okay. We also have the Present Now feature, and that's where if I click on this, it's actually going to share my screen in some capacity. If we take a look at the options, when you share your entire screen, that's where you are sharing the ability for Google Meet to travel with you wherever, whichever tab that you're on. So that is going to be a complete journey that Google Meet will follow you as you present. If you are going to present a window, this is going to be a little bit more of a limited version, so you'll have to explore to see if that meets your needs. And a Chrome tab is going to be the best for delivering video or animation. So if you have a video that you want your Google Meet to view, you're going to gear up that video in that specific Chrome tab. And then what you're going to do is you're going to then present a Chrome tab and have the video play and run. That is going to give the best experience to students or those who are a part of your Google Meet to be able to view and listen to that video that you want to share with them. If we take a look at our three dots in the lower right-hand corner here, this is where we are going to launch all of our options. So we have the option to change our layout. So if we click on this, we can change the layout. Again, because I'm the only person with a webcam here, it's quite limited, but you can see you have the sidebar feature, the spotlight where you only have one webcam, the tiled approach. So that's something that you can play around with. The other options that we have here in this menu are to, again, turn on your captions, create your webcam as full screen, so to enlarge that view for your participants. And then if we take a look at the settings option, this is where you can kind of change your audio and video options. So for video, if the video is not of a high enough quality, you can go and change your resolution. So right now, default is set standard, and then you can also up that to high definition. Keep in mind, though, that when you are changing definition for your video, that you need to have enough bandwidth for that. So if you have a large class that will meet with you, let's say 20 plus members, and you want to have high definition for your video, the look of your video, you are really taxing your internet. You're really taxing how much how hard you're making your internet work. So be mindful of that, because we don't want this to crash. You want to make sure that you are able to facilitate an opportunity, an experience, a viewing experience for your students. Let's take a look up above. So here in the upper left-hand corner is where I have actually added the extension nod, okay? And so for the extension nod, it actually gives students the ability to add in emoji reactions so that the teacher has an idea of where they're at. So if you say, all right, how is everybody? Are you in a good place? They can add in the thumbs up feature. Okay, so that's instant feedback for me that that student is in a good place. You also have the option where you can have your student raise their hand. So if you're asking for them not to all have their microphones on and talk all at once, you can have them raise their hand to give an idea of what question they might have. You can pause and answer questions at that point. On the right-hand side is where we're going to see the extension grid view. And with grid view, this is where you will click and you'll have the tiled approach. So with that, the cool thing is that you can see all 20, 30 of your classmates or your students on the screen, all their webcams. So you can play around with these different features to enable the grid view. Please remember that you want to tell your students that they should pin the active speaker or presenter so that they can always see the screen that's being shared or the webcam of the speaker at that point. Another really cool feature is if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you see my little thumbnail of my webcam, and then directly to the left of this is where I have like a chat feature. And this is where you can have questions that students can type in questions, you can answer questions along the way, and a really good way for you to then facilitate another level of communication among your participants. So that's kind of getting to know you with Google Meet and the features that we have here. I did talk about these extensions where we have grid view and we have nod. Students and staff are both able to add this in. So it might be something that you might want to talk with your students about adding as you move forward in our remote learning experience. Just checking back to make sure that there's nothing that I really missed here. And that's about it. So I hope that you all have a great experience with Google Meet. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions moving forward. We are here to support you.